Hello random person, Sab Nino here. Welcome to the way overdue Sab's Movie Night. Yeah, I decided to bring this back because I want to talk about the Patrick Star Show. I brought back Sab Movie Night again since I felt like it would be much better than just briefly mentioning it in a Sab Talk, since I do have some things to say about it, and I don't know, I just want to profit over the Patrick Star Show, okay? Is that too much to ask? It is? Okay, well, moving on. For those who don't know, the Patrick Star Show is the second spin-off of SpongeBob SquarePants next to Camp Coral, but instead of airing on Paramount Plus, it is premiering on Nickelodeon, which, personally, I feel like is fitting, and we'll figure out why in a moment. The show is about Patrick and his family, along with Squidina, who directs a fake TV show starring his brother. For those who don't know, the brother is Patrick. Hijinks ensue. That's basically as deep as the plot gets. The thing about this show is that it's really surreal. Sometimes you just don't know what to expect at any given moment. You know, sometimes the plots can be as mundane as SpongeBob and Patrick go job searching, or Squidina doing a show about your worst enemy. But it could be as out there as going on a safari in couches to find your remote, or a ghost business having an entire war over who goes up or down the stairs. It is absolute insanity with this show. You can never predict what happens. And I'm gonna be honest, that's what I like about it. I absolutely love how surreal this show can get. It's basically the current seasons of SpongeBob just bumped up to 11. And personally, I think that's exactly what the Patrick Star Show needs. It's not just SpongeBob 2, it does its own thing to make itself stand out from its predecessor, and I have mad respect for that. I probably should have mentioned this when talking about the plot synopsis. Patrick has a new set of parents and a grandfather. We have Bunny and Cecil, who are Patrick's loving parents, and there's Grandpat, voiced by Master Shake, who's so far the best family member. He's like a cranky old man. He likes prunes. He likes things back in his day a lot more, you know, typical boomer jokes. Squidina's the one with the active imagination. She's probably the one we see the most. Unfortunately, Bunny and Cecil don't really have that much of a personality so far, outside of like basic mother and father archetypes. Like, not offensive stereotypes or anything, but so far their personalities are kind of surface level parents. You know, Cecil's just kind of the loving father. He's dumb. Kind of feels like a toned down Patrick. Not toned down in terms of personality, but toned down in terms of intelligence. He is a little bit smarter than Patrick, but he's still pretty dumb. And Bunny, you know, she cooks in the kitchen, she does laundry, all that jazz. But she does sound like a nice lady. But that's all I can really say about them. Which is a huge shame, because given they're Patrick's parents, you'd think we'd see a lot more of them. Because out of all the characters in the Star family, his actual parents are the ones I know the least about. But as of the time I'm recording this, we've reached up to the episode where the Dutchman appears. Forgot the name of the episode. So who knows, we might have an episode or two where they get to be the starring roles. Or maybe not the starring role, but at least more involvement in the story. However, Cecil did show up a lot more prominently in that Flying Dutchman episode. He was the one that the ghost business was trying to scare. So it was really cool seeing him be more apparent in the show, even if we still don't get to know that much about him. And well, was Patrick, he's just Patrick. Not much to say on him. Although it does mostly focus on Patrick's parents, that doesn't mean we don't get to see any of the original show's cast on board. SpongeBob's still a regular side character, and can I just say, I absolutely love his design. I love his little curl and outfit. He is really adorable. The one thing I found interesting about SpongeBob is that in his debut episode, he did a lot of voice impressions, which I found to be really interesting. And so far he didn't make that many appearances, but I'm pretty sure that'll definitely change once the show goes forward. But it's an interesting concept for the character in this show, especially since this is a prequel. This takes place when the characters are teens. And hey, it makes a lot of sense, because SpongeBob is known for doing voice impressions. And Tom Kenny's an amazing voice actor, so yeah, if that's a direction they're going with this current iteration of SpongeBob, then great, that's a great direction. Squidward's also the Paperboy. So far, he's appeared more times than SpongeBob, and basically, Squidward has like a running theme. Like, you know how in the main show there's like themes like Plankton steals a formula and Mrs. Puff, where SpongeBob tries to get his boating license. Yeah, Squidward kind of serves that purpose. His main shtick is trying to get newspaper money from Cecil, or anyone in the Patrick's family. Although I kind of feel bad that Squidward never got to fulfill his musical career, or at least artistic career. But it does make sense for Squidward to be a newspaper boy before he worked at the Krusty Krab. It's really sad that he always gets dead-end jobs. Sandy only appeared once, but so far the impression I got from her is she's a scientist. Her machines don't work, or at least don't work right away. Which makes sense, character development. And I'm sure a lot of people are gonna say, oh, this is a retcon. Remember Camp Coral exists. This isn't anything new. And they call attention to that. Gary also appeared for a singular episode. He's basically identical to the main show. Not much to say on him. Plankton's only made technically one appearance in a commercial. And that commercial's really funny, so not much to add on him. However, there is a stop motion segment in the show. I'm assuming it's a regular thing because this happened twice. And these are the Pat Gore segments, which are entirely done in stop motion. Plankton's a mad scientist, Patrick's an Igor type character, and SpongeBob's a literal Frankenstein monster. And I absolutely love it. Screen novelties of people who made It's a SpongeBob Christmas and Legends of Bikini Bottom, along with that one scene in Whale Watching, the one where Pearl's on the surface all in stop motion. Yeah, they're on board for these segments, and they basically just modified the models they use for those holiday specials, and it looks great. I love the black and white. I love the puppetry every now and again. It's really fun, and I love it. That's another thing I love about this show. The art shifts. They are very experimental with the animation. Like in the very first episode, Grandpa tells a story about the prehistoric times, and the line work is very sketchy and the colors are muted. It's really cool. And there was one scene where I think they were parodying 1960s Saturday morning cartoons or something. It felt like a Saturday morning cartoon, but there was a scene where it was like this weird Patrick robot, and it looked very 1960s. It looked very UPA. That's what it's called, right? UPA animation. The ones where the line work's very thick and uneven, and the colors are very blocky. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm having a hard time explaining it. And in one of the more recent episodes, there was another Grandpa flashback story about ice cream, and that was told through the style of a 1930s cartoon. And it looked, I feel like a broken record, but it looks really cool. I love how the artists are experimenting with new art styles and mediums. It's really cool, and it definitely helps the Patrick Star Show stand out from its predecessors. So overall, so far in the show, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's very experimental. It's actually pretty funny, and the new elements that are added to it works. Also, for everyone saying that Bunny and Cecil aren't Patrick's parents, well, we don't know for sure. For all we know, those could be his actual parents, but at the same time, Patrick might have just found another group of starfish and forgot who his parents really are. This is the prequel, so that might be an inevitable possibility. But in terms of a behind-the-scenes thing, I know they did it because the designs of Patrick's quote-unquote real parents kind of looked bland according to the artists. So they decided to take artistic liberties, which personally I think is reasonable. Because these designs are definitely a lot more memorable and leave a lot more room for exaggeration. They definitely look better than just, here, give Patrick a mustache and a bob cut. So would I recommend this show? Honestly, that would depend on what you're looking for. If you're okay with artists being experimental, if stories that don't make 100%, stories that are just off the wall insane, and occasional distractions in between the stories. You know, if you like pure unfiltered madness, then yeah, I would recommend this show. However, if you want something more structured, more character focused, just more traditional story, then I don't think the show would be for you. Because that's the thing, this show isn't going to be for everyone. I can see people either really loving it or really not liking it, because I know there's a crowd that might think of the show as just random equals funny. And there is a little bit of that, but personally I think there's more creativity than people give it credit for. But if you want a spin-off that's more structured, I would recommend Camp Coral. Because out of all of the shows so far, that one is sort of the most chill. It does have the most welcoming atmosphere. You know, it has more basic stories, simple premises, it's more character driven. So if simple stories and stuff is what you want, I'd recommend Camp Coral. It's a good. So what do you guys think of the Patrick Star Show? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And what else do you want me to tackle for Sab's Movie Nights? I don't know if I'm gonna fully return to it yet, but I am trying to make a transition to making more. But that might change, I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, comment below. And as always, it's all Sab from here.